I support IVF, as President Trump does. We also think that we should allow, say, Christian hospitals to operate their affairs as they see fit, according to the dictates of their conscience. Now, it's not surprising that Democrats don't agree with that. They've long persecuted Christians, like the Little Sisters of the Poor. They wanted to provide contraception coverage for nuns.
Okay, Senator,
or they've harassed Catholics for going to traditional masses. That's what this bill's about, Caitlin. No, Caitlin, you're not going to stop me there because you're misrepresenting what the bill's about.
Don't play with Tom Scott!
IVF is not under assault. The court's decision dealt with a civil case. The legislature's not doing anything there to prohibit IVF. The court's decision didn't do anything to prohibit IVF. But let me tell you what this bill would do, all right? This bill that Tammy Duckworth was quacking about today, what she is going to advance is legalizing human cloning.
What did he say?
Yes, that's in the bill. Human cloning, which is expressly prohibited in several states. All right, it legalizes gene editing, or so-called designer babies, again, which is outlawed and prohibited in many states because it's not right. She also legalizes the creation of human-animal chimeras. These are hybrids, all right? This is a form of experimentation on human embryos. There has been a big battle over the years to try to totally prohibit that at the federal level. It's been done at the state level because it's like Frankenstein.
What's going on, guys? We got to talk about based Senator Tom Cooks, okay? I mean, Senator Tom Cotton, because he's always cooking whoever he goes up against in these woke behind interviews that he keeps conducting with the radical left, or participating in with the radical left, because he's interviewing with Kaitlan Collins of CNN today. You know, the nasty person. So he's interviewing with her, okay? So she has a history of being actually, again, for those who don't know, a pretty right-leaning conservative in the past, but she's either been corrupted by the radical leftists over at CNN, or by the pay, or by propaganda. Who the hell knows? Whatever the case, now she is nothing more than a left-wing media shield, a puppet, and a snake in the grass. So these two are going toe-to-toe on this whole IVF bill, okay? So there was a recent show bill that Democrats tried to push that allowed for some nasty stuff that they are saying is an IVF bill. But in classic Democrat strategy, they inject the bill with a bunch of nonsense, okay? According to Stephen Miller, this includes creates a civil right for transgenders to pursue gene editing, sex selection, and cloning technology, all on taxpayer dime. Cloning technology? Gene editing? With taxpayer dollars. These people are radicals, and I can't wait to see Tom Cotton cook Kaitlan Collins. Let's get into it.
On this is Republican Senator Tom Cotton of Arkansas. Senator, great to have you here, because you and your fellow Senate Republicans mostly voted against this, arguing that it's a show vote. But Donald Trump, as you know, recently pledged to either have insurance companies or the government pay for fertility treatments. So would you have voted for a bill like this if he was in office?
Well, Caitlin, first off, I have to correct almost everything you said in the lead-in there, almost none of which was accurate about this bill. First off, there's no risk to IVF in this country. All 49 Republican senators, along with President Trump, support IVF. No state restricts or bans IVF. Second, this bill was about a lot more than just IVF. You said that it had to guarantee access. Access is guaranteed in all 50 states right now. You also said that it was about IVF. It's about a lot more than IVF. This bill would mandate coverage for experimental, controversial procedures like cloning or gene editing, or providing fertility treatments to men who think they're women, whatever that means. It would also imperil religious liberty. I support IVF, as President Trump does. We also think that we should allow, say, Christian hospitals to operate their affairs as they see fit, according to the dictates of their conscience. Now, it's not surprising that Democrats don't agree with that. They've long persecuted Christians, like the Little Sisters of the Poor. They wanted to provide contraception coverage for nuns.
Okay,
or
Senator,
they've
but
harassed
can we
Catholics for going to
let's
traditional
stop you there.
masses. That's what this bill's about, Caitlin. No, Caitlin, you're not going to
I know you
stop me
don't.
there because you're misrepresenting what the bill is about.
Don't
the
play
bill is
with
about
Tom
infringing
Scott.
upon religious liberty.
Don't
Let's have a
play with
conversation about
Cotton.
this bill and this legislation itself. You're saying that what I said was inaccurate, that
Y'all see why I said he's Tom Cooks? Okay, like this man is Cook. He said, no, you not about to stop me. I'm about to put you in check. You better check yourself, Kaitlan Collins, before you wreck yourself, okay? Look, Tom Cotton ain't playing out here.
let's have a conversation about this bill and this legislation itself. You're saying that what I said was inaccurate, that this would
Facts.
guarantee access to IVF, which is what it would do. You're saying that no state restricts it, but no state, guarantees it. The issue, which I know well because this happened in my home state of Alabama, is a court ruling that embryos count as children. And then these IVF clinics, a lot of them closed in Alabama as a result of this because they're worried about lawsuits or about the state attorney general coming after them. That is why this is an issue. And your candidate, Donald Trump, has said that he would like to see IVF and people have access to this. So do you support guaranteeing access to IVF so a ruling like that one in Alabama would not imperil someone's access to it by clinics saying, well, I'm going to close because I'm worried about facing a lawsuit here or criminal charges?
Caitlin, the example of Alabama proves my point. You had the Supreme Court of Alabama ruling on an old law. They felt their hands were constrained by a law. And what happened? The political branches of the Alabama government, who are elected by and accountable to the people, promptly passed a new law that guaranteed access to IVF in Alabama the same way every other state guarantees access to IVF. This bill in the Senate was not about guaranteeing access to IVF, which is not threatened in any state. It was about radical, experimental, controversial treatments, like things like gene editing or cloning, and it infringes upon religious liberties, which again shouldn't be surprising because the Democrats are the party that want to harass and persecute nuns or investigate Catholics for going to traditional masses. That's why we oppose that bill and will continue to oppose it.
But Senator, this bill would have guaranteed access to IVF, and you're saying that it would have forced people to do things against.
This dude just said that they already passed a law after that to address that situation, and she just ignored all of that. Like, what a freaking tool.
Their religious beliefs. I should note, this bill doesn't require anyone to perform any operations or procedures. It just says that people should have access to IVF. And it also talks
With taxpayer dollars.
about having insurance companies cover the cost for fertility treatments, something that your candidate supports. So just to be clear, I'm not misrepresenting the bill. You can say you don't like it. You can say that you think it's a show vote. You can talk about those aspects of it. But this is something that was put up there, and it would have guaranteed
She didn't say nothing about no gene editing and cloning. What you mean you're not misrepresenting? You're literally leaving out key facts of the bill. Transgender surgeries. This isn't just insurance companies. They're trying to require taxpayer dollars if you don't have insurance, and if you do have insurance, they're trying to make it where they're trying to force the insurance company to cover at least a portion of it. Inevitably, taxpayer dollars are involved. This stuff sounds crazy, like gene editing and cloning. Like, get the hell up out my face.
access to IVF. So let me ask you while you're here, given you're a major
This lady's a
surrogate
freaking
for
liar.
the Trump campaign, his proposal here is that he would like to either have the government or insurance companies cover the cost for fertility treatments. Has the campaign explained to you yet how he would pay for that plan?
We haven't gotten that far, Caitlin. I think I and most other legislators would have questions about the cost to taxpayers or the cost in higher premiums. And as always, ensuring that we respect the religious liberty rights of all Americans. Again, President Trump and I support IVF, as do all elected Republicans. But I respect any American who has a different point of view, especially if they're a health care provider or work with a Catholic charity, and they want their religious liberty respected. That's what we would do. Democrats would not do that.
So if you're an American out there and you're someone who maybe is in Alabama and you're worried about having access to IVF, not because the state is saying that they're going to make it illegal, but because there's no clinics open in the state because they're worried about Supreme Court rulings that could imperil access to it. And if the legislature had not acted, which they did under political pressure, If you're someone out there and you're looking at these two candidates here ahead of November, Donald Trump and Vice President Harris, and they see what Trump is saying he'll do, but they're wanting to know, is this real? And if there's no plan to pay for it, how do they know that it's a real proposal?
I'd love to see you ask Kamala Harris some of these questions, because she talks a lot of freaking BS and doesn't have any type of plans laid out. Trump has a proven track record, Kaitlan. A proven record. He everything that he said he was going to do, he did. Like, in terms of completing the border wall, it wasn't like all the way covering all the however many, 1,000 miles, 800 miles, however long it is, 2,000 miles, I think it is. I think he covered 800 miles. He needed to cover 2,000, roughly 2,000, I think it was. But he started the wall, and he was well on his way. It's in Kamala Harris's commercials. There was no wars. The economy was great. Donald Trump stand on business. That's how you know he's going to do what he said he's going to do. Kamala Harris and Joe Biden said that the economy was going to be great. There wasn't going to be any wars. Everything's going to be kumbaya land. And we got fire and brimstone and World War III on the brink because of these clowns.
Well, Kaitlan, again, IVF is not at risk in any state, and the Alabama example proves the point. The legislature acted promptly
Why
to
did they have to
change
act
what
if
was
it
an old
wasn't
law
imperil,
to ensure
Senator?
access to because of Supreme Court decision. That happens all the time.
That imperiled access to
Courts
IVF.
make decisions. Kaitlan, courts make decisions interpreting laws, often old laws that haven't been updated to reflect changed circumstances all the time, and legislatures come back and they change those laws. That's what happened here.
Okay, but my question was about the plan to pay for the proposal.
Again, well, we can review those details at future time. There's reasonable questions about the cost of it, either the taxpayer and premiums, and how we would protect the religious liberty of all of our citizens. But Donald Trump, just like all Senate Republicans, and for the most part, most Republicans I know, all support IVF. What we don't support are the kind of radical proposals that Kamala Harris has addressed, like on the abortion question. She wants a nationwide abortion law that would mandate all states allow partial birth abortion up to the moment of birth and deny life-saving care for any child who is born during a botched abortion. That's what's truly radical.
And of course, as you know, she wants Roe versus Wade codified into law, which would go up to viability about 24 weeks. Senator Tom
What
Cotton,
I know is that
thanks
she
for your
won't
time.
answer she won't answer a question about
Senator
what kind
Tom.
of she won't answer a question about what month it is appropriate to reasonably protect the rights of unborn children. Is it the 8th month?
This lady just lied. I just posted a video moments ago before I started recording this video with Kamala Harris being asked about Roe v. Wade, which makes it where you effectively, if Roe v. Wade, as it stood, you could get an abortion all the way up to the 9th month. And if you have a botched abortion, including at the 9th month, and the baby survives, you could just lay it down on the table and just let it die. Just let it just sit there and just die on its own. Kaitlan Collins just lied to everybody watching, saying, oh, Roe v. Wade is up to the moment of viability. That's not true. Roe v. Wade covers you all the way up until the moment of birth, and in some cases after a botched abortion, which is considered a birth. This lady lied her ass off, and I'm glad Tom Cotton ain't letting her have no last words. Shit, man. Man, Cotton is cooking with Crisco today.
Truly radical.
And of course, as you know, she wants Roe versus Wade codified into law, which would go up to viability about 24 weeks. Senator Tom
What
Cotton,
I know is that
thanks
she
for your
won't
time.
answer a question about
Senator
what kind
Tom.
of she won't answer a question about what month it is appropriate to reasonably protect the rights of unborn children. Is it the 8th month? Is it the 9th month? She won't answer any of those questions, Kaitlan. because she
You can't answer it for her, Kaitlan.
knows that her radical views on these questions are out of step with the American people.
And Senator Tom Cotton, Donald Trump did not say on that debate stage as well, when she didn't answer that question, if he would veto a national abortion ban. We're out of time, unfortunately. Senator Tom Cotton, thank you very much.
What a freaking B word, bro. Like, everything about Kaitlan Collins is her trying to be a contrarian. This is why they call them fake news, guys. You see what is Donald Trump and his view on what he answered about vetoing an abortion ban have to do with abortion up to the 8th and 9th month. It has nothing to do with one another. If you want to question Donald Trump on that, ask questions about Donald Trump and whether or not he's going to do an abortion ban, you should have asked Tom Cotton that or talked about that. Instead, no, she wants to wait till the last possible second and try to get the last word, not give him a chance to respond back. And Tom Cotton wasn't having it. He should have said something else after that. Like, no, just be as argumentative and as difficult as possible with these people, because that's what they're doing to you. Why be nice to them? Why not say, no, Kaitlan, you're wrong. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Just be an asshole, honestly, because Kaitlan Collins is not being nice. She's not even being honest. So why even be cordial with this lady? You pretty much have to continually go on these shows, because that's why Tom Cotton is doing it, going on here cooking these losers every day, because you have to basically get out here and prove that the radical leftists are lying, the Democrats are lying, the fake news is lying, and it's like a constant battle. You got to get out there each and every day and just prove that they're lying. That's what I'm doing on this channel. That's what Cotton's doing. That's what everybody who supports conservatives in this movement to get Donald Trump elected is doing. We gotta like consistently get out here and debunk these radical leftists from all of this insane propaganda that they're pushing. Like, this lady was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen Kaitlan Collins be quite this deranged before. Like, I don't know what happened with her with the TDS. I think she really hates Trump or something. She never forgave that whole nasty person comment or something. I don't know if she was nasty with him before that, and maybe she got worse or something, because these people seem like it's like their life's mission to make sure that Trump is not elected. This makes me want to get him elected even more. So be sure to get out there and vote. If you want to piss Kaitlan Collins off, make sure you vote early and bring a friend, okay? Because we want to see these leftists mad. We want to see people crying on November 5th and 6th, okay? We want to see that moment of dread as they like realize the walls are closing in and that it's over, and that their next wannabe black Jesus, Kamala Harris, has failed, and Teflon Don's gonna be their next president, baby. I cannot freaking wait. Let me know what you guys think about this interview. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
No, Kaitlan, you're not going
I
to
know you
stop me
don't.
there, because you're misrepresenting what the bill is about.